And good morning. It's so good to see you all this morning, and we hope everyone had a safe and very wonderful 4th of July.
Yes, we sure do.
And it was hot.
So what else is new?
I mean, really.
It's a good thing this isn't a news show.
That's
the news would be real old.
Absolutely.
It's hot, hot, hot.
I'm Nancy Kaysen. I have a little gift shop down on Inman Street across from the museum called the Red Ribbon. And if any of you've noticed, we've been closed this week because I've been on vacation.
Good for you.
I know it. I love it.
Good for you,
And
girl.
my co-host, Brene Beatty.
Volunteer. And I have been working my buns off.
Have you?
Yes.
Well, she's also retired. And as soon as she retired, I put her name on several lists.
And I do rescue for dogs, and so I have transported 3 already this week, and usually it's just on the weekends, but these have been weekday ones.
Well, good
But
for you.
they've been emergencies.
Good for
and
you.
going to forever homes, so yeah.
Oh, forever
I'll step
homes
out
are just
for-
wonderful.
Yes, they are.
They absolutely are.
Oh,
Wonderful.
guess what?
What?
You
You
know-
found a home for Art.
Yes,
Oh, yay.
I did.
Yay.
In case y'all don't remember, Art is my hospice foster. He came to me and they said he would have 2 weeks, maybe a month or 6 weeks because his body was shutting down, and that dog is going to live longer than I will because he's killing me. But I mean, he's just perked up. His blood work is great.
See, all he needed was a good foster home.
Yes, and lots of food. And we had to have the teeth pulled so he could eat. And he's leaving on transport Saturday, if it feels. I'm like,
Yay.
what? So soon? I know, but I'm pretty attached to him too. I mean, I really want him to have a home. I can't take him on
Here
forever.
we've been trying to find a home for Art. Now we found a home. Are we going to let him go?
Yeah, we'll let him
Okay,
go.
very good.
Because my dogs are over it. Okay.
Very, very good.
Enough about dogs.
That's
now.
No, there will be some more dogs on
Yes.
the show. Actually, a dog to talk
Yes.
about, and 2 lovely little ladies that are going to talk about him with us. I think it's a she. Is it a she
I
or
think
a
it's
he?
a she. Well,
I'm not sure. Anyway, you'll
Cute,
find out.
cute, cute.
Don't go away
Glad
when we go
mix.
to break.
Yes.
But we do want to tell you, and it's like Brene always says, get out your pencil and paper because we're going to give you some things that you need to know about, things you might want to do. And this is something for all you artsy people. The Dayton Chamber of Commerce Tennessee Strawberry Festival is accepting designs for the 2013 festival.
I saw that in the paper. Boy, they plan ahead. That's great.
They do. But now, you know, we do that for Cherries Jubilee also.
Yeah, I know
You
that.
have to plan ahead. Designs must incorporate the Strawberries in Space theme. Strawberries, the words Tennessee Strawberry Festival and Dayton, Tennessee 2013 or 66th annual must be in your little logo thing that you send them. And the designs must be submitted to the Dayton Chamber of Commerce no later than 5 p.m. on August the 3rd. That's why I'm telling you today, so you can start thinking of these things, a strawberry in space with the theme, with the words Tennessee Strawberry Festival, Dayton, Tennessee 2013 or 66th annual, okay? And if they should select your design, you get a stipend of $200.
Wow.
I wish
so
I
get
was
those creative juices going. I know, I don't have a creative bone in my body. I'll do grunt work, but I'm not creative.
No, me either.
But, you know, they need grunt workers, too.
They do. They do.
I'm dropping my stuff here.
All right.
Sorry,
And
y'all.
we do thank the banner because,
Yes.
you know, the banner helps us tell you all these things.
Yes. And you need to get a subscription so you can read about it because sometimes we forget or sometimes I don't tell you right. But anyway, we'll move on. Okay, the Adult Summer Reading Program, Between the Covers, I love that, will run through August the 15th, and the next discussion, book club discussion, is Unbroken by Laura Hillenbrand, and it'll be held on July the 12th at 1 p.m. in the community room. And Richard Tiger Jones will lead this discussion group.
Should be interesting.
Should be.
and it'll be air conditioned.
Yes, so I'm sure there'll be a large crowd.
Now, we have dropped down into the double digits from the triple digits last week when we were telling you that it was extremely hot. Now it's just hot, okay?
Who would have ever thought
So-
96 would have been considered a cold front?
That is true. And you know, we've had some storms this week,
Mm-hmm.
and the power at the Cleveland Utilities and Volunteer Electric, you go, guys and gals, because
Yes.
you've done a great job getting people's power back up, and we really appreciate you all for
And aren't
what
you
you all
glad
do.
we don't live up in Virginia?
Holy smoke, yes, I am.
Triple digit and no air conditioning.
Now,
Okay.
there's going to be a 4th of July celebration on Friday, the 6th.
Spread the holiday out.
Absolutely. I mean, it came in the middle of the week, so let's spread it out all week. And this is going to be at the Belfont Church, which is on Highway 11, going north out of Cleveland, kind of there, and right before you get to Charleston. It's a pretty church. Reardon and Carroll designed that church, by the way. It's a really pretty church. Anyway, if you like really good music, Squire Parsons is going to be there, and that is some really good gospel music will be sung. So join them for a time of celebration, food, and music, and it starts at 6 p.m. at Belfont Baptist Church up there on Highway 11.
Okie dokie. And all you people who like good fresh veggies, this afternoon there's the 5 Points Farmers Market. So down at First Street Square, you need to go down there. And if you really like them, when we're through, of course, don't leave till we're through.
That's right.
But then there's the Farmers Market that's every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at Peerless Road. And they have some really good stuff.
Yes, and Miss Shadden's right there with that
Yes.
flatbed, and she has wonderful corn and green beans, and Flavis has already
Right
cut
from-
up a whole bunch of green beans.
I've got
canned
an,
a whole bunch.
I've got an appointment tomorrow morning to do vegetable
At the
soup.
cannery.
At the cannery.
See,
yes.
that's so wonderful. Now, folks, remember, we are the only county in Tennessee that has a cannery,
Yes, and it's just for Bradley County people.
and it's free.
Yes, it is.
And all you have to do is call over there and make an appointment.
And we don't have the number, but you can call
No,
it.
we don't,
We'll get it for you.
but she was on with us last week and gave
And you
that
should have
number. and you
written it down.
That's right. You should have written it down then.
See if you'd been taking notes.
And the two Matts, who used to have the Tuesday morning program here, Matt Ryerson and Matt Carlson, are going to participate in this year's Habitat for Humanity Bike to Build event. They're practicing in preparation for the July 8th Olympic Distance Chattanooga Triathlon. So the two Matts, bless your heart, and you go, boys.
You go, guys. You got it. Okay, on the night, the After Hours Teen Summer Reading Program at the library. See, here we go again. The library has a great
Wonderful
number of
programs,
programs.
wonderful
Yes.
programs.
We'll focus Friday on how to survive the zombie apocalypse. Woo! And on Saturday, the movie is The Giant Gila Monster?
Yes.
G-I-L-A?
Gila Monster.
Yes. Some people call it a Gila Monster.
Yeah, that's
but
a
it's
Gila
a Gila
Monster.
Monster, yes. It will be screened and all events start at 7 p.m. So go out and get your zombie on.
Spooky night for the teens.
Yes,
there.
yes.
Now, we're going to talk about just a second here about the county fair, Foothills Country Fair, that's coming out at the Tri-State Exhibition Center. If you don't know where that is, it's at exit 20 off the interstate. Wonderful facility, folks. Wonderful, wonderful facility. And the county fair is the 27th and 28th. And we have carnival, cultural arts, pageants, demolition derby, kids area, lawnmower races, petting zoo, food fair, and small stage contest and entertainment, etc. And the Friday night concerts start at 7 p.m. But what I want to tell you about is this barbecue cook-off, and there'll be barbecue competitors from all over the United States that come in for this. And
Prize money.
prize money, there's big prize, $10,000 prize money. And there's a whole lot of people that just travel around and compete in these barbecue things. Flavis and I went right after the first year or two we were married when the World's Fair was in Knoxville. Some real good friends of ours had a team, and we went up for that. And I mean, they decorate and they do everything.
So
and
it's something really special.
It's very, very special.
Yes.
And Louie and Nancy Alford will be with us next Thursday to tell you all about it. And I have done a quilt. Yes,
Santa
I
Claus-
did. No, I did the 12
Oh.
Days of Christmas. I
Yeah.
just got that finished. So I hope they tell me where I need to take it to enter it in the contest.
Oh, cool. I'm so excited. Okay, the Historical Society is going to meet on July the 8th, and that's the Bradley County Historical and Genealogical Society, and it's the quarterly meeting, and it's at 2:30 p.m. in the newly restored Cleveland Southern Railway Depot building. And the guest speaker will be Paul excuse me, Paul, forgive me.
Right.
Archambault.
Sounds good to me.
I thought it was good. He's the Historic Preservation Planner for the Southeast Tennessee Development District, and it was his research on the depot that resulted in the building being added to the National Registry of Historic Places. So everybody show up and tell him thank you. And there will also be a special reception held in honor of Barbara Fagan, the manager of the Cleveland-Bradley County History Branch and Bradley County genealogist.
Barbara's a great gal, and
she
anytime you need anything from the History Library, you just call down there and ask Barbara. You know those ornaments we do at the Red Ribbon every
Yes.
year with the historic buildings? Barbara's the one that's found every one of those pictures for us. It's just been great.
She is good.
We have baseball camps, golf camps, softball camps, wrestling camps, volleyball camps. Did I say soccer camps?
Well,
Basketball
you can
camps.
say it
You know,
again.
call Bradley High School, Walker Valley High School, Cleveland High School, Cleveland State Community College, and Lee University, and they've got camps going on all summer. So if you're interested in any sport, call and see about that.
Yes, okay. Oops. We just got the finger that it's going to be
Yes,
almost
we're about
over.
to
So
have to go
I
to
have
commercial. Pay
one
for
more
this show.
thing. Bachman Academy, call them the first week of the 3 one-week residential sessions for students age 12 to 17 starts Monday, and you can call them and get all the information about it. But
Absolutely.
they're really good classes that they're going to do.
And
Okay.
today at the Senior Center, which is out off Urbane Road, at 8:30 they'll have refreshments, and at 10 o'clock they have games and activities, and at 6 o'clock this evening they're going to have line dancing. So
Woo-hoo.
if you're looking for something to do today, head out to the Senior Center if you're a senior. If you're not a senior, don't
And
go
you don't
away.
want to miss this one.
Oh, you don't. You don't. He's absolutely, he.
We
don't know, but they'll tell you.
At Crawford
We don't
Pharmacy,
know, but-
we offer custom compounding. Our pharmacists are known for their attention to detail and unique expertise. So visit us at 2260 Chambliss Avenue, Cleveland, Tennessee. For personal assistance, walk right in or come up to our convenient drive-thru. Crawford Pharmacy, serving our community one person at a time.
Have annoying biting and stinging insects taken over your yard? Volunteer Rid-A-Pest can get it back. Make your yard a no-fly zone with Mosquito Guard. Volunteer Rid-A-Pest will eliminate these annoying pests, and you'll be able to work in your yard, have a pool party, a cookout, allow your children to play outside, or just sit outside and enjoy the evening. Volunteer Rid-A-Pest has developed an extremely effective treatment program that treats all shrubs, bushes, trees, and other foliage where mosquitoes and other biting, stinging insects live and breed. This material will not harm your plants or trees and leaves no harmful residue. This treatment program is safe for use around children and pets, but the best part is it's 100% guaranteed. If you are not 100% satisfied, Volunteer Rid-A-Pest will retreat for free until you are satisfied, or after 30 days, will cancel their agreement and refund 100% of your money. Give Volunteer Rid-A-Pest a call for a free no-obligation estimate. Phone 472-7736.
I'm Wes Robbins with Landmark Insurance Brokerage. When it comes to employee benefits, we've got you covered. Call me today for the best service and best solutions to your group health and employee benefits needs. At Landmark Insurance Brokerage, we've got you covered.
I'm so bad about names. Good morning, and we are back, and I'm kind of flummoxed because I've never sat in this chair. I've always been number 2. Anyway, but we have 2 wonderful women from the three. Well, yes. Oh, excuse me. Nancy and I didn't know, but this is JoJo.
Josie.
Josie. Okay. And she is a young lady, and she's just been rescued from the shelter, and she's been adopted.
She literally just came from being sprung from jail.
Oh, is that not exciting? So forgive her if she's just a little overwhelmed, because if you were sitting in a cage at the shelter, you would be a little overwhelmed too. Mm-hmm. So
But
anyway,
she's been fully vetted now, and she has to have her spay surgery, which we absolutely think is
Required.
mandatory.
Yes. That is a good
That will
policy.
take care of the biggest issue that we have with our
Yes.
pets in this city. But in the country.
Yes.
You must spay and neuter your pets.
Speaking of which, also, there is a new movement going on in Cleveland, and it's called Cleveland for a No-Kill Community
Cleveland
City.
for a no-kill city.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
right.
Now, would you give us some information? I know we've been seeing articles in the paper and everything. And
Absolutely.
How did it get started?
Well, there were a
and-
bunch of us. There were a bunch of us that rescue dogs and cats.
I didn't introduce my guest. I'm sorry. See, I'm not used to this chair. This is Lindsay Smith,
Hello.
and this is Rebecca Howard. Right. Okay. And
Right.
JoJo. I got the dog
And
introduced.
Josie.
And
Josie. She's the
Yes.
special guest.
Yes. Okay. Excuse me. Go
Back
ahead.
to the story.
Uh-huh.
There were a bunch of us that were sitting around one day brainstorming ways to rescue more pets from the pound.
Yeah.
Normally what some of us do is pool our money together and pull the ones that we can. But there are so many animals that come in and out of there every week, every month that, I mean, we were getting one or two.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they are inundated, mostly with owner drop-offs. The figure is somewhere around, is it 250 something or 300? I think it was 350 something.
357, I think.
357 owner drop-offs last month and 140 something strays. So if you are dropping your pets off at the pound,
Shame on you.
I would suggest that you try and find an alternative solution to your problem,
Yes.
which is not to make it the community's problem.
And
Unfortunately,
if I could interject right here, adopting a pet is a commitment to a life. And, you know, if your children, you know, if you moved to an apartment, you wouldn't get rid of your children.
Exactly.
Well, some people would, but, you know, hopefully.
right?
we
Well,
would.
yes.
Yeah.
Some people wouldn't need to be moving to an apartment to get rid of their
Exactly.
children, but
We won't go there. Okay, excuse me, go ahead.
But in any case, that's people mistakenly think that the pound is the Humane Society or is an animal shelter or is an adoption facility.
Yeah.
Now you can adopt pets from the adoption
exactly.
from their facility, but it is not primarily any of those things. It is animal control. And so when you take a pet there, when you take your pet, their primary objective is to make sure that pets aren't running loose. Their primary objective is not to adopt your dog or cat out. When you take your pet there,
Has been, we're
has
changing.
been. We're changing that.
Yeah.
But that's not their fault either.
No,
they have not
it's-
had the resources to do what we have come in and done.
And that's what it's always been.
Absolutely.
It's what they inherited. yes.
Absolutely. But I think that the number one message that I would like to get out, other than spay and neuter, is that if you have a dog or cat that you need to quote unquote get rid of or that you can't afford anymore, there is a 99.9% chance, well, there was before we came in there, that they would be put down before the pound opened the very next morning. So if you took sweet Josie here, who's about to fall asleep, if you took her to the pound at 4:30 on a Tuesday, by 11 o'clock when the pound opened on Wednesday, that dog would be in the landfill. And people need to understand that. It is not the pound's responsibility to take care of your issues.
Exactly.
So we can't blame them. So in any case, we were all sitting around thinking, how can we get these faces out?
Yeah.
Because people think that the dogs at the pound are these mangy, evil,
Behavior problems.
right, sick
yeah.
or dying dogs. And sometimes people do drop off their sick or dying dogs.
Yeah.
But in any case, the dogs that are there are purebreds. They are
There's a gorgeous
precious.
Keltie
There's a
mix
Keltie
with
that
it, yeah.
came in today.
Yeah.
There is a black lab there right now. There's looks like a pug chihuahua. We call those puawas. A puawa there. There's a gorgeous Walker hound dog there.
Wasn't there a purebred Shih Tzu?
There's
not
another
too?
Shih Tzu
Yeah,
there right
another
now.
right
There have
there.
been 3 Shih Tzus
See,
in the
folks,
past
so
week.
far.
See, folks.
So whatever your dog preference is, short, puffy, fluffy, black. There's a Rottweiler there right now whose owner was 79 years old and brought him in and had to surrender him, and
just couldn't
there
deal
he
with it.
sits,
Yeah.
or there she sits,
Yeah.
and she is just the saddest thing.
Oh.
And so, you know, what we decided to do first was to go in and take pictures. And it's just a bunch of citizens. It's just a bunch of people like me and Becca. And so we decided to go in and take pictures and post them on our Facebook pages. We figured if people understood what was actually coming through the pound, that they would go down there and perhaps not go to that breeder or not go to that pet store or, you know, not spend $200 on a dog, that they would spend $50 and that they would save a life. And I have 5 dogs and a rescue, so 5.5. And every dog that I've ever had has been a stray or a rescue or something that has been dropped off or that I've picked up. And their love and loyalty lasts forever. They never forget that. They never.
They know
ever
that because I do the
forget.
transporting and people say, "Ooh, how can you do that? Isn't that dangerous?" I said, they are so piteously grateful. They know they're going
Oh, absolutely.
to a better life.
And we've been in there for 3 weeks now. This is our 3rd week. We've been in there for 3 weeks, and I have not had a dog snap at me once. And I stick my fingers in
the cages.
in the cages and pet them, and more often than not, they just want to be loved on and touched and held, and they know. They're in there and they're petrified.
Yeah.
So the first day that we went, we posted all these pictures up and we put a phone number, and then all of a sudden it was like the bottom opened up. We were like, you know, the person who had, the one person whose number was on the on the post was just like, I can't handle this myself, and we were all elated about that.
Yeah.
But we, you know, we could not handle it ourselves, and so we ended up having to then, you know,
figure out
then how to network adoptions.
Tell people how to see the pictures and find out where they are.
They are on Facebook, and they're on Cleveland for a No-Kill City. And like I said, it's just a bunch of citizens. And we have pound teams that go in, and we take pictures, and we take the descriptions and the numbers, and then we post them up. And underneath every single description is the number that you can call. And for example, I'm on call today. So while you all were doing the first segment, we were over looking at my phone, and it's just constantly ringing with people ready to save a life.
That is absolutely
wonderful. And I know I've talked a lot about the dogs, but I
Yeah.
have to give a shout out to the cats, because when you send a dog person to talk on TV, you're going to hear about dogs. And so there are so many cats and kittens that we have rescued there. But our ultimate goal is to make Cleveland a no-kill city. By 2017, I think that we can do it in a year. I honestly think that it's possible in a year.
Yes. Everything's going so well. When they first put up the Facebook page, like maybe 2-3 weeks ago?
Yes.
They were hoping for a couple of hundred, like in a month. You're over. Last time I looked, it was over 1,200.
Yes,
How many are you?
we're almost to 1,300 now.
Yeah. And the friends on or people who have liked the page are from, I saw some from Chicago. There was one, I think it was German, she was writing in. So this is like, and it's not just local people who can adopt these dogs.
Absolutely.
Because if you live, or if you have someone, a relative, and they see a dog, transport can be arranged.
Absolutely. We have dogs going to Massachusetts, Maryland.
Yeah.
We had one that we lost going to Texas. We have them going to Kentucky, to Missouri, and like I said, some of these dogs are dropped off because they're sick, and then it's left up to us to nurse them and nurture them. And we have dogs going. We've had people from California wanting to fly dogs out there. So wherever you are in the United States, it does not matter.
It's possible. And there's an organization called Pilots for Paws. We'll have to get somebody from that organization on here. And they're pilots who need to fly so many hours, you know, to keep their license up and everything. And they use their own gas money, and they will fly a pet from, you know, here to there, and then another one will pick it up.
You initially think about it, and you initially look at it and think, you know, well, here we are in Cleveland, Tennessee. How can we get an animal, you know, out to, you know, North Dakota or whatever? And then all of a sudden, it does. All of a sudden, you post it up, and people are like, well, just so happens I've got a family reunion in North Dakota. And you're just like, well, now that's God.
It's a God thing.
That's a God thing. That's something other than me.
Exactly. Look at that sweetheart.
But she was in, you know, this is a dog that was owner surrendered. I wanted to bring one that would not have made it.
Yeah.
Before we went in. And like I said, I want to make sure that everybody understands that this is not the pound's fault.
No. And it's not their responsibility.
It is not. It is not. And these guys that work there, and Jennifer, the people that work there have been absolutely incredible, and
Amazing.
in my opinion, we owe it to them just as much.
And don't you know
as the dogs.
how awful they felt
Oh,
going in
God.
and killing all those dogs? I mean, it's bound to do something to
Of
them.
course it does. Of
And
course
you know,
it
let's
does.
say kill, because that's what it is. It's not put down.
It's
put to
not
sleep.
euthanasia.
No, it's
I
killing a dog.
euthanized my 14-year-old black lab
Yeah.
German Shepherd mix this time last year. That was
That's when you're
the
there
kind
with
thing
them.
to do.
And, yeah, and these
Right.
dogs are,
No.
yes. Oh, goodness, they are
This one would have been gone. This one was brought in the afternoon, maybe in the morning, maybe around noon, and this one would have had 5 hours to be seen. And on every normal day, they don't. People don't come into the pound as much as
Exactly.
they do now. And
So, well, tell them
she would have been
where
killed.
the shelter is, or what's the procedure? You see, because we've just got a couple of minutes left. You
Okay.
see the face on.
You see the face on Facebook.
Yes.
You call the number.
Okay.
And if I knew it off the top of my head, 464 something.
Anyway, it's on Facebook.
Because we've changed it a couple of times.
Yeah.
Rebecca will find it. But you call the number.
Uh-huh.
That number rings to a volunteer. If you don't get a volunteer, it's 464-6070.
And that's 423 area
423.
code? Yes. Okay.
And that number will ring to a volunteer. That volunteer will answer the phone. You tell them a number of the animal that you are interested in, and we will connect it, and we fax every single night because the dogs are put down in the morning before the pound opens.
So you need to get it in.
You have
that
to get it in that evening.
Yes, and as soon as you see the dog, you need to call that number
You
and
really
get the
do.
dog's name on the fax list. And then once it's on the fax list, there's a hole put on it, and arrangements can be made.
Absolutely.
So, well, thank you so very much.
Thank you for
coming.
having
I'm
us.
So excited.
And thank you
Yes,
for
and-
having Josie.
Oh, Josie,
She's
you
ready
are
to go to
so
her
cute.
forever mama.
Yes, she is. She is so cute. Look at that face, people. Whoops. Well, I guess look at that profile. So remember, that's Cleveland for a No-Kill City, and it's on Facebook.
They're on Facebook.
And your next best friend is waiting for you, right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Look at
Look
that
at
face.
that. How could anybody put this puppy down?
She's violent, let me
Yes.
tell you. She's
Yes,
violent.
violent. Yes, I can tell that. So, whoop, easy, baby. So, okay, thank you again.
Thank you
want
so
to give
much.
the phone number again, since we have
464?
464.
See, this is why I'm a drama teacher.
Yeah, we're not numbers people.
423-464-6070.
Yeah. 70. Was that?
Check us out on
Yeah,
Facebook.
Facebook,
Cleveland
yeah,
for a
that's-
no-kill city. The number's
Yes.
right there.
And that's the best way to find them, because we are not number people. Well, is there anything else y'all want to say?
Just thank you so much for having us
Very
on.
much.
So happy
And know
to be
that
here.
these pets are every bit as wonderful as purebred animals.
They are. And there are purebreds.
And
there
that
absolutely
we
are.
Need to, yeah, we need to let people know there are. Okay. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
At Crawford Pharmacy, we offer custom compounding. Our pharmacists are known for their attention to detail and unique expertise. So visit us at 2260 Chambliss Avenue, Cleveland, Tennessee. For personal assistance, walk right in or come up to our convenient drive-thru. Crawford Pharmacy, serving our community one person at a time.
apologize for going over. You know, I had no training, Nancy.
But didn't she do a good job? Yay, Renee. Okay. And our guest this session
Yes.
is my minister, Reverend Randy Martin, new at Broad Street United Methodist Church.
Welcome to Cleveland.
Thank you. We're glad to be here.
Good.
I'm thrilled to have him here. Randy and I are old buddies. We graduated from Tennessee Wesleyan College together.
Oh, I bet.
We're
some
not going
stories.
there.
We're not going to tell any stories.
Okay.
We're telling
Okay.
no stories. But, Randy, now you've been here, what, 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah, I love it already.
Oh, good. We're glad
Yeah,
to hear
I know everything about the church and about Cleveland in 2 weeks.
You have been a busy man.
Yes, you have. Yes, you have. Tell us where you came from.
Okay, I had served at Hickson United Methodist Church in Chattanooga for 12 years.
Whoa,
And
that's a long
I
tenure for a
know.
Methodist minister.
They put up with me for 12 years.
They must have loved you.
Must
Yes.
have.
Well,
That's a good
it was a
sign.
great time. It was a great time, and my wife and I, Patsy, enjoyed it, and we're glad to have done that. But now glad to have this new opportunity on our journey to share it with you all and folks at Broad Street United Methodist Church, as well as the Cleveland community. I'm excited
Absolutely.
about it.
Absolutely. And I will say that Randy's wife, Patsy, was at Tennessee Wesleyan with us also. Great gal and wonderful pastor's wife.
Well,
I
she's
think that's a special designation in certain lives to
I think
be a
it takes
pastor's wife.
special
Yes.
skills.
well, her
yes.
job is to keep me from getting the big head,
And
which,
Patsy
by the
can-
way, she does very well.
I'd say Patsy can do that. I'd say there's absolutely no problem with
She's
that.
wonderful.
Now, coming into a new church, just kind of walk us through a little bit of what you have to do to come into a new church.
Well, several things. First of all, you're coming in behind people who have been there for a long time. In this case, you have 2 pastors who have left and 2 new ones have come in. One had been there for 4 or 5 years, I think, and the other would have been there for 12 or 13
Right.
years. And so you have to have, in our United Methodist system, the idea is that people go in and build with their gifts and abilities on what somebody else has already done. And so you have to be sensitive to that. You have to go in really with not much agenda, because you want to go fit into the church's agenda, not force your agenda on somebody. But you also go in with the idea of bringing something new. For instance, right now we're doing a sermon series on Sunday mornings, and the theme is launch, and the launch is into a new vision. You know, Broad Street United Methodist Church has been here for nearly 200 years.
Yes.
And so I'm thinking it's an old church with a new vision.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to serving Christ by offering help, hope, and healing to our community and to those around. And so it's the message is the same, the messenger is different.
Yes. And that's what makes it kind of interesting in the Methodist Church.
Yep.
You can't get laid back and think you've got it figured out, because the hosting conference is going to change it on you.
That's right. That's
And,
exactly.
and they're going to change it on the preachers too.
That's right.
One thing I love about Randy, Randy's preached 2 Sundays, and I love the fact that you preach to the congregation and then you turn around and preach to the choir. And I sit in the choir, so that means I'm paying attention.
Yeah.
You're checking to
Every
see if
time I
they're
turn
asleep.
around, she pops up real quick. Like,
But I think that's wonderful, because sometimes ministers just forget that there's a group behind you.
well, and also the 1045 service is broadcast on 93.9. I'm not sure what the call letters are, but
I'm not sure either, but
But we also try to include our radio congregation, because there's people who may be shut in or who are traveling and come across it, and we want them to know that we're sharing the love of Christ with them. And also, we have a place for you. We have plenty of room, don't we?
we do. We have plenty of room.
We have plenty of room where people can come and be welcomed and connect with God, connect with each other, and hopefully put their faith into action.
Absolutely. And we have 4 services.
4 services, 2 at 8:30 and 2 at 10:45. And one's contemporary and the other's traditional in the sanctuary. And so we try to present the gospel in a way that people will hear it and respond to it out of new commitment.
Did you ever have the opportunity of knowing Reverend W.I. Farmer?
Yes, I did.
Well, when you preached the first Sunday and you preached to the congregation and then turned around to the choir, That's who I thought about.
Really?
Because he would preach to the congregation, and he would turn around and preach to the choir, and then that's when I was choir director at Sweetwater, and then he would turn around and preach to me, which the choir thought was very appropriate. So,
Well, see, now, we have history together.
Yes, we do.
So, now, the only thing I don't want you to do is sit back there and giggle when I'm up there preaching.
well, it depends on what stories you're sharing.
One of my high school classmates I graduated from Macaulay in 1965. One of my high school classmates came Sunday, and I told him, I said, don't sit out there and giggle all through the service. So I don't think he did.
It's amazing how people will show up when they find out who's where.
I know. Now the thing is, I wonder if he'll come back. So
I don't know.
but we are going to have lunch together, so at least we'll eat together whether he comes back to here to go to church.
Very,
together.
very
Well, is he
good.
local?
Yeah.
Then maybe he
Oh,
will.
well, that's good.
Yeah, he's from here.
Oh,
That's
okay.
very good.
Yeah.
Okay. So Randy is basically kind of sort of a local guy.
Yeah.
Although you spent your younger years traveling
Well,
as
actually,
an Army brat.
I was an Army brat, but we came to Chattanooga when Dad was the advisor of the National Guard when I was 8. I'm 64 now. So
Let's not tell our
we've been in
ages.
Well,
Oh, darn, you just told me.
Nancy's a lot younger than I am.
She was a child prodigy.
Yeah, she is.
Yes.
But so really, we were there, and then when Dad retired from the Army, he went to work at Macaulay School when we had military, and then I went over there in the 9th grade. I grew up in East Ridge, but I went to Macaulay because of the job down there. But our conference is a wonderful place to serve, and from Virginia to down here to Chattanooga and Rising Fawn, Georgia, and Trenton.
Yes.
And that whole area, it's just a wonderful, plus the cities of Chattanooga and Knoxville and the Tri-Cities area. It's a wonderful ministry. Somebody asked me when you retire an annual conference, you have a little blurb you write and I said when I retire, I'm going to just put in there, I would do it again.
Well, bless
Oh,
your heart.
bless you.
It's been that much fun.
Well, it hasn't been always fun.
I understand because I can't imagine.
No, I can't say it's all been fun, but
Right.
it's been great.
Well, that's wonderful. Now, we also have a new district superintendent for
That's
Cleveland.
right. That's right. Reverend Joe Green and his wife Beth have moved here. Joe's a wonderful person. You ought to have him on. And Beth is a wonderful singer. She used to be a radio personality in Chattanooga on US 101.
Oh, okay.
She helped start that when they started that. So,
Oh, wow.
And Beth's they have a wonderful ministry team together, and Joe's going to be a great asset to Cleveland District and to Cleveland area.
Well, and that's very unusual for Broad Street to get 2 new ministers at the same time and us get a new
That's
district
right.
superintendent.
Yeah.
I think everybody else in Cleveland stayed. I think First and Wesley and
Oh, yeah,
Asbury,
and- yeah, yeah.
just in our area right here.
Yeah.
Tasso, all of the area
I think
right
there's a
here.
change at Tasso.
Oh, okay.
But you're right.
It's real unusual for those,
That's right.
for all of that. And when Randy came in, you came in with a new associate pastor.
That's right. Reverend Skip White. He's from North Dakota, went to Duke University and came to our conference about 8 years ago. And we've known each other for that long. And I'm the old guy, and he's the young whippersnapper guy. Because he's a really wonderful young man, and his wife Victoria and a little boy named Charlie. And they're a wonderful couple, and Skip's got a lot of energy. He loves Jesus, and he loves the church. He's a good one.
And I've heard him preach also because I go to one of the contemporaries, and then I go what I call big church, and which is where I've heard Randy at big church and Skip at the contemporary service. But Skip's wife Victoria is fluent in Japanese.
She is.
So she's working at Denso in Athens. So yes, and I thought that was just
that's
really
interesting.
She
good.
worked for Toyota in Knoxville before that, and so that's worked out very well for them.
It has. It's
And also, Skip's mother is with him.
Yes.
With him, Sharon.
Sharon, and she's a very, very lovely lady. And so we're just thrilled at Broad Street.
Yeah.
Anything that you want to announce that you're going to do exciting? This is the time to do it.
Well, we're excited about worship.
Yes.
We're going to, Skip and I are bringing a kind of a different way of doing that. We're going to do series of services. The one we're doing now is launch into a new vision. We're talking about things that will help us to capture maybe the vision that Jesus has for the church and the world. After this, beginning July the 29th, we're going to begin one called, it's going to be on the book of Acts, but it's going to be called Road road race, about the
Okay.
what happens with that, and so we'll do that for through August through Labor Day, but and there's just a lot of things going on. You know, we've got this wonderful retreat center at Johnston Woods.
Absolutely.
Out on, you know, if you have a group that needs some place to go to retreat and connect with God in a beautiful setting, it's not very far away, give us a call and use Johnston Woods. It's wonderful. We have the Unity
beautiful out
Center
there.
that's doing wonderful ministry for the community there through children's ministries. So there's a lot going on. And
There is, and we have a summer camp going on right now
Summer
at Johnston
camp at
Woods.
Johnston Woods.
And I think Chrissy's not totally full, so it's $65 a week. It's 8 in the morning to 5 in the
That's right.
afternoon. If
That is
anybody
such a
wants
deal.
to put their child in next week, just call Broad Street. Do you have that number memorized yet? I should know it too, Randy.
No,
I'm
I do
sorry.
not know.
I
It's
should
in
know
the
it.
phone book.
It is under Broad Street United Methodist. But if you want, it's just $65 a week, and it's from 8 in the morning
That's
to 5 in
wonderful.
the afternoon for 5 days.
And the programming is absolutely
It is.
fantastic.
It is.
And you can't get a babysitter for that.
No, and it's unplugged.
Yes, which
Which
I think is absolutely
I do too,
fantastic.
because I'm an outdoorsy type person, and I think that's great. So, Randy, we're just excited to death to have
Well,
you
me
at Broad
too,
Street.
me
I
too.
just, when I found out who was coming, I just kind of said, "Oh my goodness, how exciting is that?"
Well, and I know we got to go, but if there's anything that Skip or I or the church can do to help you in your life and your journey, we want to be of service to you, and we want to serve the community.
And I've known, like I say, I've known Randy for several years. He's already told my age, but that's okay. Everybody already knows that. But just a wonderful friend and a wonderful person to talk to. It's so easy to talk to Randy. I haven't sat down and talked to Skip yet, but I think he will be too. So,
Yes.
so here again, it's, you know, and we want people from the community who are unchurched, who are looking for a home, to come see us.
That's right. And we'll offer help, hope, and healing and care to you, and we look forward to seeing you.
We have a beautiful sanctuary, absolutely gorgeous, and we're downtown,
That's right, right downtown.
right in the middle of everything that's going on.
Serving, let's see, how did I say it Sunday for the radio? I said, serving through the heart of the Christ in the heart of the city.
That's us, in the heart of the city,
In the heart
absolutely.
Of the city. Serving the heart of Christ in the heart of the city.
Then
Heart of the
that's
city.
Broad Street. And Randy, thank you so much for being
Well,
on,
thank
because I
you.
know it's starting the morning out with looking at me and talking.
I tell you what, I can't think of anybody I'd rather talk
Oh,
to.
you're sweet, you're sweet. Anyway, but I'm trying to help Randy along with a couple of little programs that I am interested in, and so, but I'm just thrilled that you're with us.
Me too.
I just think it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful opportunity for Broad Street and for all of us that are your parishioners.
Thank you.
I'm excited about it. I
Appreciate
really,
it.
really am. Thank you for being on with us today. Folks, don't go away. We will be right back with Mr. Byron Winters from Landmark Insurance and Brokerage. We haven't seen him in a while. Don't be a stranger, Byron. He'll be back with us in just a minute, so don't go away. We'll be right back.
Community of resilient, compassionate families who want the best for each other. The tragedies of the April 27, 2011 tornadoes brought our community together to bring aid to the hurting and helpless. It is time to come together once more. The Bradley County school system is underfunded, and our future leaders are receiving their education in substandard learning environments. On August 2nd, you will have an opportunity to further impact our great community by voting for the wheel tax. A vote for the wheel tax will not only rebuild Blue Springs Elementary School, but it will provide a new facility that is engineered to meet the demands that technology places on the infrastructure. The overcrowded Walker Valley High School students and teachers will have much needed space and be able to use academic rooms for their intended purposes. The students and teachers of Lake Forest Middle School will no longer endure the hazardous conditions caused by the elements of nature and deteriorating classroom buildings. British philosopher Herbert Spencer stated, "The great aim of education is not knowledge, but action." Would you take action in the name of education and vote yes for the wheel tax? A vote for the wheel tax is a vote for the children and the future of Bradley County.
And we are back. And this stranger
Look
sitting
who's
over
here
here,
with us.
look who we brought in. Byron Winters from Landmark Insurance Group.
Landmark Insurance Group. We
Group.
merged.
I just learned, and brokerage, and they changed the name
To keep you on your toes.
That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. Him and Wes both just want me to stay sharp here.
We merged with another group here in town.
Oh, okay.
Insurance and Investment Solutions. Jordy Waller and Jeff Holden. Originally started, I think, by Elaine Holden about 20 years ago. So many folks may have done business with insurance and investments, or IIS, in the past. So we're all one agency now, double the staff. Just
And you're all in
10 of
that
us
new
now.
building down there. You're still across
new
from
to
the
us,
library.
but
Yeah,
it's
new.
what I understand is the old Beard, the old Dr. Beard dental
Oh,
office,
okay.
which was more
Yeah.
recently
It's on
Church Street.
Lawyer
Church
office.
Street.
Kind
Yes.
of across from the
Richard
library.
Banks was in there here more recently. I guess he
Yeah.
bought it several years ago, maybe. And
So how y'all liking your new
we
location?
love it.
But
More
you-
space. We're more centrally located. It's easy for you to come see us, which she hasn't been yet.
But do I need
Nancy,
to because you come see me?
I
There is
do.
that.
I mean, that
I
is the
do.
wonderful
At
thing
least
about
once
this
a
group
year.
here. They do, yes, at least once a year. And we have to talk. But they do come see you. You don't have to go see them. So how has this hot weather affected any insurance? Has it? Do we have a
Hot
situation?
weather. Well, I don't know if it's affected insurance in particular. It's affected some of our insureds that are HVAC contractors. They're busy,
That's
right?
what I'm wondering.
And I had a yard sale this weekend, and it affected me. I almost fell asleep outside. It got so hot. I was trying to, sell items with my wife, and a bee,
How'd you do?
a wasp, got in my mouth.
You shouldn't be
In
sleeping
my
with
mouth.
your
I've
mouth
never met
open.
anyone that had a wasp in their mouth. I was helping somebody trying to negotiate on the price, and lo and behold, a bug's in my mouth. I think it's a mosquito or a fly or something, and it was hopping around, and it was too big for that. And then my tongue started hurting.
It
so
stung
I
you?
spit it out, and I ended up stepping on it, and it stung my tongue.
Holy
Now you can say you've heard
Now
someone
that's
talk
a
about being
story.
stung on the
That's
tongue.
a story.
And were you insured?
Did your medical insurance cover that?
Luckily, I didn't have to make any kind of emergency trip to the ER. My wife suggested Listerine, which I kind of laughed at first, and then a second person, also a female. When two females suggest the same thing, take their advice.
That's right. Do it.
So
Yes.
I went inside and got some Listerine, and my tongue didn't swell. So
Wow.
Well, do y'all have any homes that you insure that have been damaged with any of this wind and the little storms we've had this week?
not this week that I'm aware of.
But that's good.
But a lot of folks have had damage for the past, year and a half now or
Yeah.
so. So what a lot of folks, I thought we would talk about claims. A lot of folks,
Good.
it's true oftentimes, but a lot of folks don't understand it. I didn't understand before I got in the business, and maybe you ladies don't understand, or maybe you do understand. You don't call us every time the wind blows, so
No, I do
you
not.
understand a little bit. And that insurance is supposed to be there for catastrophe and things that's really puts you in a predicament where you're in a situation that
Yes.
you've got to have help. And unfortunately, it's become more of a thing. Not unfortunately because we don't want to help you, unfortunately, but unfortunately because carriers will cancel you, unfortunately.
If you file too many claims.
Exactly.
And your premiums
Is
go
that-
up and.
Folks don't understand that every time the wind blows and there's something going on, you don't necessarily need to file a claim. We'll file one for you, and I won't argue with the client, but I will try to help educate them, because a lot of folks call me now and say, well, I just called them, asked them a question. They filed a claim for me, and I didn't ask them to, and now they're canceling me. So you must be careful. A lot of carriers express to the agents that anytime a person calls about a claim and you have knowledge of it, you're to file it. And so a lot of folks don't intend necessarily for their agents to file a claim as much as answer a question. So make sure you clarify that you're not necessarily wanting to
Wow.
file a claim if you don't want to.
Right.
Right? And you're just asking a question, you just want information, and hopefully they won't file a claim if you don't want them to.
Yeah.
Because if you get too many claims, you'll get canceled. And then what happens is you have a clue report that follows you. It's much like an MVR with a DMV. And so it's on record. All the insurance carriers have access to it, and they can see how many claims you filed, and oftentimes even the person that lived in the house before you. So if it's been in the last 5 years, right, and you just bought the house a couple of years ago, someone else's claims may end up appearing on your clue. And so the agent or the prospective agent may say, well, what about this fire a couple of years ago? And you say, I've only been there a year. What are you talking about? And it may be the prior homeowner. And sometimes some carriers even look at that claim history. So if you bought a house that multiple claims over a 5-year period have been filed, not necessarily your claims, that may also affect whether or not that carrier wants to help you.
Wow, I
'Cause you
hadn't
may
even
have
thought
a
about
lemon
that.
All
house.
kinds. Yeah.
When I see,
Hopefully not.
Yeah,
it was
really.
about this time last year that someone hit the air conditioner unit at the Little Red Ribbon House. And so I immediately called Landmark, and they came over, checked it out, and I got a new unit.
Yeah, let me clarify. We will file a claim for you. We will not talk you out of filing a
Right.
claim. But we might ask you some questions and really present some options to you to make sure that's what you want to do, because not everybody gets that service, and they call us and
And if it's just a little more than your deductible, and you're thinking, well, my deductible's $500, but it's a $700, repair bill or something, well, I'll get that $200. But in the long term, that $200 you
more than
get
it,
could hurt, yeah.
could hurt you more than
Could
it helps
really
you.
hurt you, so.
So
yeah.
there are options. If you've had a lot of claims and you just can't find insurance, we do have options. Call us, 478-3872, and Byron can help you.
Yes.
But it may not be as cheap as what your prior insurance was.
Right.
Exactly.
So someone will cover you.
But they're going to
but it
get
may not be
wonderful
the-
coverage and wonderful service.
Yes.
I'm one of these people that will pay, don't tell Flavis I said this, a little bit extra for the service. And these guys are great.
We try to take care of people. We come to you, like Nancy said, we'll come to you and let you sign the paperwork at your residence or your place of business.
Not that you're paying more for their insurance.
Not
but-
necessarily.
No,
Not necessarily.
no.
Every carrier is different. Every situation is different. But we have, I think now in our combined agency with 2 agencies before that, 9 or 10 standard carriers. So we have lots of different markets, and every one of those carriers has different appetites. So some like types of businesses that others don't like, and vice versa. So lots of options, and we're sure to find a price that you can hopefully be palatable to you. And
Well, I know when our insurance was renewed this year, there was something on there that Flavis said, whoa, I got to call them. And he did. And it was just a leftover from where we were to where we went, and y'all fixed that, and that premium went down, and that was okay. It was just,
well, we're not perfect, but we
No.
try to fix what.
but you do. You fix, you're not perfect, but you do fix. You're close.
I'm not.
You're
You are
real
that
close.
close.
You're
You are
real
that close.
close.
Okay.
But y'all do work with the client, and that's what's so wonderful.
A lot of folks come to us and they don't know much about insurance. They don't really know what they have, why they have certain coverages. So we try to help educate them and explain things. And if there's a gap in coverage somewhere, we try to help them mitigate that. Maybe maybe we're looking at their GL and they've got a couple employees that
What's a GL?
general liability.
Okay.
Or work comp
Yeah.
policy that they've got a few more employees and they've forgotten to tell their prior agent, and may not be quite legal, but we get involved and get them the right kind of policy set up and make sure that they are adequately covered. Other folks, they buy, I don't know, maybe they buy some antique furniture or something that they haven't told their agent about, or a nice painting, and so it has to be scheduled, or more jewelry than they had before, so they need special coverage. So there's all kinds of reasons to review your policy every year, and certainly call us if you have any questions, and we'd be happy to help you review it, maybe help you with your price.
Ultimately the policyholder's responsibility. You can't think to ask them all the questions
Right.
that might be needed, so they
See,
need
that's
to
why
come
you're
with
not
you with
perfect.
everything.
That's why you just laugh
Just
about
this
Almost,
smidgen.
almost there, right?
Almost.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure you ask them lots of questions.
I
but-
try to,
Exactly.
unless
but-
they're in a hurry. Some people are in a hurry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that's
to
true.
read minds and anticipate is a gift, not necessarily something you're trained to do.
Exactly.
But now claims, we're talking claims on everything, cars and boats and houses and,
Too many claims on any type of policy you have could garner cancellation. I won't speak about health insurance. I'm not a licensed health agent. Your rates will definitely go up, but
yes, they will.
And that's almost every company. We do have a couple carriers that will allow us to lock a rate in, especially on maybe an auto policy. So if you get an accident or a couple tickets here and there, maybe your rate won't go up, which is pretty different. Most folks are used to the rates going up no matter what happens. And so there are a couple carriers we have that'll do some things differently, but by and large, most companies will cancel you for too many claims, or your rates will certainly go up. So
And you all handle homeowners, car insurance, health insurance?
Everything you can think about, really.
Okay.
You know, Wes does some financial stuff that I
Right.
can't say a whole lot about because there's all kind of disclaimers and stuff.
I understand. Wes is the financial man, though.
But
Yes.
life and health, home and auto, boats, inland marine policies, workers' compensation, general liability you asked about. Yeah.
Just about any kind
just
of
about any kind of
insurance out
insurance.
there, yeah.
The only thing we don't deal with much at all is the brain freeze there. We don't do brain freezes. is the
Welcome to
age
our
thing.
world.
You know, that's an
Welcome
age
to
thing.
our world.
That's right.
Medicare supplements. A lot of folks call
Yeah.
for Medicare supplements, and there's just so much of that, we can't handle it, and so we don't deal specifically with Medicare supplements, but about everything else.
And see, so y'all would be almost a one-stop shop.
Oh, we are. We're a one-stop shop.
And that's great. And folks, I cannot tell you how great they are to work with, seriously. I mean, I'm not getting paid to do this, but they're really great to work with. I just pick up the phone if I've got a problem and call them.
This
try
is
to
the
help
voice
people.
of experience.
It is. It's the voice of experience. I've had one car experience with them and one air conditioning experience with them, and it wasn't my car that hit my air conditioner, okay? So, so anyway, but Wes came over, sat down in the shop in his long sleeve shirt and started perspiring all over himself and said, "This will be fixed by 5 o'clock this afternoon." And it was. So,
There's
That
a
was
lot
a
of-
good thing.
A lot of folks that have needed their agent, and haven't gotten the service they've wanted, or can't get return phone calls, or can't get policies adjusted or things fixed, like you mentioned on their policies. And we're not perfect. We're far from perfect, but boy, do we try.
No, they're real close to
they're
perfect.
real close to perfect.
Boy,
It
do
is
we
close.
try.
Phone
So
number.
we,
Give us a phone number real
Yes.
quickly here.
478-3872, 478-3872, and on the web, the internet.
Oh,
we have time to
yay.
give it, www.landmarkib for insurance brokerage, even though we changed our
Even
name.
though they
we
changed
kept-
their name. That's
For
right.
Google, we kept our URL for Google.
Okay.
Yeah.
Landmarkib.com.
It's real hard to change
Byron,
that.
it's so great to see you. It's been
Yeah, it's so
a
good
couple
to
of
see you.
months, and
It's
we're
great.
just
Seen.
we're so I know it is, and we're so glad you came with us
Yes,
today
we
to be
are.
with us. And folks, we're glad you all were with us today, and we'll be back next week. So
Yes.
come back and see us next Thursday morning. Goodbye.
Have a great 4th.
Goodbye. No, that was yesterday.
That was it.
Was it?